Good Tuesday morning. Oh, it's Wednesday morning. I'm a day late. I guess this cold weather's got my brain slowed down. I can't afford for my brain to be too slowed down. But it's Wednesday, and it's about 10:40 here on the East Coast in East Tennessee. And the last I saw, it was about 14, 15 degrees. It was 7 degrees when I woke up this morning. So, yes, it's a cold morning here in the foothills of the Smokies. We're here to continue our study on Psalms 23. 23rd Psalm is probably one of the most quoted, most used, especially in funerals. And it's a shame that it's just used in funerals mainly because it's such a great guidance on our lives, of everyday life. And in part one, we went over the verse number one, that the Lord is my shepherd. Yahweh is my shepherd, and therefore I am his sheep. And because Yahweh is my shepherd, I lack nothing. All through the Bible, God calls us his sheep. Now, I have a degree in agriculture, animal husbandry, and sheep are an unusual animal where cattle are different, horses different, dogs, cats. Sheep are a little unusual. Sheep are kind of a dumb, stubborn animal. They are not easily trained. Have you ever gone to the circus and watched trained sheep? No, you could train dog or train elephant, train tigers, not train sheep. They can't be trained. They're just not smart enough. So God's saying, you're my sheep because you're not very smart. Now, if that insults you, you need to go back and think, I think he's right. I think he's got it down. Not only is a sheep not very smart, but they're dirty. Sheep are dirty animals. Now, I know you're used to looking at sheep in maybe the agricultural barn of some county fair, and those sheep have been washed and combed and taken care of. But if you go out to where they're actually just roaming, they're dirty animals. One thing, they got this oil on their hair follicles. It's called lanolin. Yeah, that's where you get your lanolin from. And it attracts all types of dirt, all types of bugs. And so they're constantly walking through the grass and walking through the dirt and everything, and it's clinging to them. So God says, you're my sheep. You're not only not smart, you're dirty. Is that the way you feel? I feel that way all the time. Third thing about sheep is they're undefensive. They don't have any self-defense. I don't get goats and sheep mixed up. Goats will come at you. Sheep, no. You ever seen a sheep rear up on the back legs and bark? They have no defense. They're defenseless. The God says, you're my sheep. You're not very smart, you're dirty, and you cannot defend yourself. That's me. You raising your hand out there and saying that's you? Because it is, if you're his sheep. Verse number 2 is kind of an odd verse. And it's the reason I take these verses and take them apart. It says, he maketh me lie down in green pastures. Well, in studying the sheep that I studied in my degrees, and in working with the sheep that I worked with my cousin's ranch out in Texas, you don't make sheep do anything. You can't make them lie down. You don't go up to them and say, lay down. They're not a dog, they're not trained. So why does David say, you make me lie down in green pastures? Because being a shepherd himself, he knew that the great shepherd, Yahweh, knew exactly where the green fields were. And sheep will forage on that green pasture. Now, in the Holy Land, there's only green pastures just every now and then. Really, just 3 months out of the year, the pasture's really green. But a good shepherd actually has plots that they fix up so the sheep can eat on some green pastures. And he makes me lie down in green pastures. How? Because sheep, when they get their stomachs full, will find some shade and they will sit down and ruminate. Now, for you that don't know anything about animals or anything, ruminate is kind of a disgusting thing. But it's where they actually, in one of their stomachs, they belch up the grass they've eaten, and then they chew on it and get it into a much better way of digesting. And they will do that all through the day. So he maketh me lie down in green pastures because he feeds me. Yeah, he feeds me. Bible over and again, give us our daily bread. Sheep are not worried about tomorrow's grass, they're worried about today's. And as long as you provide enough grass for today for that sheep, they will fill up their belly, go sit in the shade, and ruminate the rest of the day. Sheep a lot of times will graze at night, and then by morning they're back in the shade again and doing their thing. They're lying down in green pasture. And then he leads me beside the still waters, the calm waters, the peaceful waters. You see, sheep are easily scared. You can stampede a herd of sheep in no time at all because they are easily frightened. So sheep do not like a lot of rushing water. Sheep like calm waters, still waters. And there's an old saying that still waters run deep. The shepherd knows that these still waters are deep enough that sheep can go out and walk around, helps clean off their fleece, helps them cool off, and then they come back out and they're peaceful because the calming waters. God doesn't lead you beside stormy, awful, flooding rivers because he's the good shepherd. And he's leading you to where the waters are calm, peaceful. Sheep are not like camels, not like llamas. They can go sometimes for weeks and weeks and weeks without drinking. But they can go for days without actually going to the still waters to drink because they get up in the middle of the night and they graze. And the dew that's on the grass, they get that. And there's enough dew on the grass that helps them have their water supply. It's when the grass is not so green that it gets a little tough. But even on the desert side, the dew is still there. Read about the children of Israel in their walk with Moses. Sometimes we wonder, God, why don't you supply what I need? And God just seems to say, I'm supplying what you need. I'm not supplying what you want. There's a big difference. So Jehovah is my shepherd, and I am a sheep. Not smart, kind of dirty, and defenseless. But he'll lead me to where I can be filled, feel safe, lie down in a cool, green pasture. Have you ever done that? It's a wonderful feeling just to be able to sit down in a cool, green pasture. Then he leads me beside the calm waters. I don't know if you've ever sat beside a lake or a pond. In Texas, we used to call them tanks, T-A-N-K. Those were man-made ponds. They're cool. They're peaceful. And there's something about just sitting there looking at it. Your stomach's filled. There's a water supply there. And your heart is at peace. You see why I say this is a beautiful, beautiful psalm to lead you every day. Allow God to be your shepherd. He wants to be your shepherd. But are you his sheep, really? Are you one of his? Or are you a strange sheep inside his fold? Do you really know him as your shepherd? And we'll go further into that a little bit later in some of our other videos. But I'm asking you today to check your heart. Are you one of his? Do you really know the shepherd? Can you just walk up to the shepherd and he'll reach down and pat your head? No. Well, just to think of that, that I can walk up to Yahweh, my shepherd, and he'll just reach down and pat my head. Then I'll go and graze on the green pasture, drink in the calm waters. What a wonderful, wonderful feeling. I'm going to show you one of the Bibles that I used, and I may have showed this before. I don't know if, no, you can't see it because of the background, but it's the Israel Bible, and it's written in Hebrew, and I don't know enough Hebrew to worry, but it's written, and then it's a direct translation out of the Hebrew. And it says, he makes me lie down in green pastures, and he leads me to waters in places of repose. Isn't that pretty? Think about that. I want you to take time to read the chapter. Read Psalm 23. I hope you've got a study Bible. I've got a desk full of them. I don't know if I can pick it up or not. No, my background won't allow it. I have to use a background because my room is not a calm place. It's a storage, actually, but I use it as my room. But I use all kinds of study Bibles, and you need to. If you don't, then you can go online and go to Bible Gateway. I think it's only like $4 a month now, and you can get hundreds and hundreds, even thousands of study guides for free. And I urge you to do that. There's so much more to the Bible than just reading it. Study to show thyself approved. Study to show thyself approved. Would you pray with me? Lord, we come to an end of this session on verse number 2. How you lead us and help us to lie down refreshed in a green pasture, and how you give us calm waters where we can just sit, because you are our shepherd, Yahweh, Elohim, Jehovah. You are my shepherd. and I am your sheep, not too smart, not too clean, and totally defenseless without you. If you would like to contact me and folks and ask questions, please do. My email address is teachinghisword49@gmail.com. teachinghisword49@gmail.com. And until we again meet with you, I want you to know that we really care about you. God bless you. Be sure and subscribe and like this video on our YouTube channel.